Hello, this is Dan Faschingbauer from Video Pizzazz. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to connect Convertri with your AWeber autoresponder and then set up your opt-in form so that your AWeber receives that information. All right, so I have this landing page here with an opt-in area for an email address and then a button to submit. But in this case right now, this is just graphics. This area is not live or connected to my AWeber autoresponder. So I need to set that up. So the first thing I need to do is connect Convertri with AWeber through the API interface. So I'll come up here to Forms, and this is where you configure your API interface. So I'll come down here and click on Autoresponders, and then you'll see this big list of all the supported autoresponders. I'll click on AWeber, and when you do that, the Convertri API goes over to AWeber and it looks for all your lists. So I'll use the pull down here and I'll see all my lists within AWeber. I previously created this list on AWeber, and so I can find it right here. So I'm going to click the list and then it loads it up. And then it puts the list name right here. And by default, the API brings up email, name, and IP address. Now, this really isn't important. You'll define what you want for input on your landing page later on. So this doesn't mean that this is set in stone. This is just the default API setting. So just click on Done, and then you get a red check mark here, which means that your form is connected to AWeber. As I said, this is just graphics down here. It doesn't do anything. So what I'm going to do is come over here to Form Elements, click on that, and I'll grab Email here and slide that down into this area here. And if you click on the form settings here, it is assigned field type to email. If you use the pull down here, you can have the input set to all these different areas here. So if you're using the AWeber API interface, you do not need an AWeber form. This is what you're generating here. You're actually creating the form here within inside of Convertri. So in my case, I want this to be email, so I'll leave it as email. And I'm going to say that that is a required field. That has to be input. All right, so that should be set up and connected. So I'll click the back arrow here, and I'll click on Input Properties. And it says Placeholder Text. All right, so I want to make this button here look like this here. So I'm going to say right here, enter your best email. So now I can slide this up here and stretch this out so it's almost the size of the other one, like so. And then I can come down here and I can select that and delete it. Bring my real form up here. So then you'll see here that you have access to a font family, whether you want it bold or not. Like, so instance, I can make this, I could make it ultra bold. I can change the font size. Let's make it like, say, 34. And then we're good with the email input field. All right, so we can click back out of this. You can exit out of this. And I think what I'll do is I'll click on Save so I don't lose that information. And so now we want to do a similar thing to our button. So we'll come over here to Form Elements again. And we'll click the Submit, and we'll drag a submit over here. So this is our submit button. So when you have this selected, if you click on the button settings, the mode is set to submit. And again, you could have it go to a checkout page, a link, you could link it somewhere, you could have it be a download or a trigger. I'm just going to click on submit, and then here's your submit label. So I'm going to call this Give Me Access. And again, you can change the font type here. You can change the weighting. Again, I'll make it ultra bold, and you can change the font size. Make it 30. Exit out of the properties. All right, so I'm going to slide this up here, overlay it, and then stretch this out to make it about the same size as the button was. And then I'll slide this down, select that, hit delete, and it's gone. So now let's slide our real button up here and click on save. Now another thing I could do is if I wanted to make this button color match this purplish color of my image here, I have a built-in color picker on my Chrome browser, so I could select the ColorZilla color picker, come down here and hover over the color I want, click on it, and it copies it to a clipboard. So then I could select this button, click on Element Properties, click on Background, and then right here paste in the color, and then exit out of that, and it changed to the same color as that, and then I can click on save. Now something else you can do is you can have this button change colors when they hover over it. So you could click here again, click on Element Properties, click on Background, and then click on Mouse Over. Now if you use the pull down here, you could grab the circle here and you can see how it changes color. So you can make it a little bit darker, click on Select, and now it's going to change to a darker color when you mouse over it. So you'll see on mouse over it's going to be this color, and on general it's going to be this color. Alright, click the back arrow and we'll click X to get out of the properties, and we'll click on save. Alright, so now we have our enter your email address configured, and we have our button configured. So we'll click on save, click on publish. We're going to publish that page, and then we're going to view it. Alright, so now let's test it. So let's click in here. I'm going to paste in that email address, and I'm going to click on give me access. Alright, and then that took me to my thank you page. And then if I click here, it actually takes me to the sales page, which is what I wanted to do. So now let's go over and log into our AWeber autoresponder and see if that email was added to our list. So we'll go over to AWeber, log in, make sure you're in the list that you want to look at, and click on subscribers, manage subscribers, and you'll see here that it did get added, but it's a double opt-in email. So it says confirmation pending. So if you go to your email reader, you'll see here that I got a email from Dan Faschingbauer, confirm your subscription. So let's click here, confirm my subscription. Now if I go back over to AWeber and refresh this, you'll now see that that person has been subscribed. Alright, so now my landing page is functional and connected to my AWeber autoresponder. I hope you found that useful, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.